In the past, Vietnamese women are believed to be subordinate to three men in her life: her father, her husband, and her son, and totally depend her life on them. But through the development, the role of Vietnamese women are completely changed, not only in families but also in society. Today, I'll show you guys how those positions has changed and how gender inequality was like in the old days and how it still remains somewhere in today's life. We're gonna take a look at 4 different eras in the beginning of civilization, the feudal period, the colonial period, and finally in the recent days. So surprisingly, in Vietnam, the matriarchy appeared first, since men did not have controls in economic. Women then were responsible for gathering food, cropping and raising stock, and also breeding, as well as delivering food. Therefore, they had more power in the tribe. It can be said that in this late Paleolithic, this economy form made the women's role become very essential. But soon after that, China dominated Vietnam, and the women could no longer rule, and all the privileges were taken by men. During over 1,000 years of feudal period, the Chinese ruled and educated Vietnamese people with their literatures and ideas, especially by Confucianism. And under the Confucianism, women were influenced negatively. Since the Confucian bias meant women were not recognized, only men were the head of the family and society. Therefore, women were hardly treated as equally as men in all aspects of life. Vietnamese women must have 4 characteristics không, dung, ngun, hạnh to be considered as a good daughter or wife. Those can temporarily understood as master or the housework, have dedicated appearance, speak with warm and pure voice, and know how to balance her self-respect with the husband's family members. One of the worst beliefs said that women have always subjected the Confucian rule of the following submissions. A woman must follow her father before her marriage, and then follow her husband during her marriage, and finally she have to follow even her elder son when widowed. Women were raised and educated that they had to obey and respect the man, and they had no voice in family things, as well as no decision in solving family's problems. And even more unfairly, only some women from rich families could study, but they could not study high. They just studied enough to make their fathers and their husband feel happy. And moreover, women should learn how to cook well and how to become a good wife and mother since like toddler. Even more miserably, the women also cannot decide how many babies they want to have since they had to give birth until they have a son. And it can be said during this period that a single boy, that's positive, 10 girls, that's still negative, since people believe that when they pass away, their souls could only enter the son's house, but not their daughters, because women were invisible in the society and even in their own family. No voice, no decisions, as well as they could not say what they think. Even in a marriage, they had no right to choose the person they want to marry. And when they are not happy with the marriage, only the man could request a divorce. Men could also have multiple wives, when women are only allowed to have one husband. Replacing the feudal period is the control of French and American towards Vietnamese. During this period, the influences of freedom ideas from these two countries, and there were less strict regulations for women than in the last era. And along with the Vietnamese War, women had to go out to fight and had a specific role in the background supporting. Fortunately, women's position moved to the new step after the victory of revolution in 1945. The government officially admitted the equality between men and women. And for example, women can attend to school like men, and they are no longer have to stick to the kitchen and chores anymore. Nowadays, Vietnamese women are free to raise their voices and opinions, are respected to challenge themselves in everything that only men could do in the past, and there are many excellent women in every field, and they are still fighting to improve themselves even more. But sadly, there are still many elders are obsessed with choosing the gender of the baby or spoil their sons more than their daughters, or the husband's mom will criticize harshly if the wife cannot give birth to a boy